This Channel 3 HD newscast is brought to you by Window Nation, America's choice for windows.
Now at 11, exclusive interview. Frank Russo speaks publicly. Is he truly sorry for his role in the county corruption case? He speaks only with Channel 3. Plus, remembering a news pioneer, we take a look at the life and career of Mike Wallace. And is there rain on the way? After a nice Easter weekend, could we see showers as we head into the work week? Bruce has our 7-day forecast.
And now, Channel 3 News at 11 with Eric Mansfield.
We begin tonight with a Channel 3 News exclusive. Former auditor and convicted criminal Frank Russo speaking publicly after keeping a low profile outside the courtroom for more than a year. So what's he been doing all this time? As Channel 3's Pamela Osborne shows us, Russo has been serving others while he's waiting to serve time.
When you hear the name Frank Russo, this image is probably what comes to mind. The former county auditor rushing into federal court with media in tow before taking the stand against his former partner in crime, Jimmy DeMora.
You guys are getting me here. It's getting claustrophobic. No. Come on now.
This Easter Sunday, we bumped into Russo in rare form. No suits, ties, or testimony. Only an apron as he served those who found themselves in need this holiday.
It's very important to come here and give back. I had a major problem. A search warrant served upon my office in my home yesterday.
That problem landed him a sentence of nearly 22 years in federal prison. Russo pled guilty on 21 counts of conspiracy, bribery, and mail fraud. Crimes he says he hopes to make up for.
I am sorry for it. And all I could do is come and give back.
Let Russo tell it wasn't the Holy Sunday that had him volunteering his time.
I started working here in August, and I come every day. I serve lunches, do fish fries with Sister Creta, banquets.
But his duties, he says, go beyond the kitchen and the dining room floor.
And they just promoted me to a GED teacher.
But after decades of serving himself, some say it'll take a lot more than that to make things right. Russo said he volunteers at St. Augustine Church every day, and this Easter Sunday was no different. As for his prison sentence, that's been postponed until the county corruption trials are complete. He'll testify this summer and again against DeMora in October, so he seems to be very busy right now, Eric.
Yeah, busy indeed. We should say that this was not a staged event. We didn't know he was going to be there, and he just happened to talk to us. Do you think people will find him sincere and believable?
Well, when he was talking about the trouble that he had gotten himself into, the first thing he did was apologize, and he really seemed genuinely excited, kind of lit up when he was talking about the service he's doing now. Like you said before, he served some time of his own.
Words a lot of people have been waiting to hear. Pamela, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And when it comes to Frank Russo, it's certainly been a roller coaster year and a half. In late 2010, he pled guilty to conspiracy and bribery, among other charges. As Pamela mentioned, he received a 21-year sentence. He's been free, though, while he continues to cooperate in the ongoing probe. That includes expected testimony in a trial this summer and in October in the second trial of former Commissioner Jimmy DeMora. So we asked those of you on Facebook, what would you have asked former auditor Frank Russo if you had a chance to talk with him? Laurel tells us, I would ask him how it feels to be caught betraying the people who trusted him enough to vote for him to have his job. Jim tells us, when will we, the taxpayers, be repaid for what you swindled? And Debbie just wants to know, hey, Frank, was it worth it? Well, new at 11, a hearing is now scheduled for tomorrow afternoon for the teenager charged in connection with the fatal shootings at Chardon High School. TJ Lane was set to be in court last week to determine if the 17-year-old should be tried as an adult. But that hearing was pushed back until a competency hearing could be scheduled. Lane is currently charged as a juvenile in the shootings. It includes 3 counts of aggravated murder. And the bodies of some Ohio heroes are now back in the U.S. The remains of 36-year-old Captain Nicholas Rosansky of Dublin and 45-year-old Sergeant First Class Jeffrey Rick of Columbus arrived at Delaware's Dover Air Force Base. Both of these Ohio Army National Guardsmen were killed in Afghanistan in an attack that also killed 44-year-old Sergeant First Class Sean Hannon of Grove City, that also near Columbus. 5 other Ohio Guardsmen remain in critical condition. Well, along with Frank Russo today, many others were donating their time, helping make this Easter Sunday a bit brighter for those in need. The Hunger Center at St. Augustine served Easter Sunday dinner all morning long. Along with serving a traditional dinner, meals were also delivered to many local families and others in need. Meantime, some Catholics chose to spend part or all of their Easter morning praying outside one of the 13 closed parishes. We found several dozen parishioners outside of St. Casimir's on East 82nd today. Most say they still have faith that their church will someday reopen. Bishop Lennon ordered the parishes and a dozen others to close because of dropping attendance, but the Vatican has since ordered those to be reopened. Catholics tell us they feel caught in the middle.
We're still hoping that the bishop will agree with the Vatican's decree and open the parishes, not only ours, but the other parishes.
The bishop's wrong. What he didn't destroy parishes, he destroyed families. And he has no compassion for what he's done.
The diocese leaders say they won't act on the Vatican's decree to reopen any of those closed churches until they get further guidance from Rome. Meanwhile, Bishop Lennon, he spent part of the morning celebrating Easter Mass right here in Cleveland. Many turned out this morning for Easter Sunday celebrations at St. John's Cathedral downtown. Easter Sunday, of course, one of the oldest Christian feast days. And in the Vatican, Pope Benedict prayed for peace this Easter Sunday. The pontiff celebrating Mass with tens of thousands of Christians in St. Peter's Square at the Vatican. Now, during a speech at the end of the Mass, Pope Benedict prayed for a new start to the Mideast peace process. The crowd grew to more than 100,000 by the end of the 2-hour ceremony. There is some sad news to tell you about tonight from the world of broadcasting. Veteran 60 Minutes interviewer Mike Wallace has died. He was 93 years old. He had been in frail health for recent years. He died Saturday evening in Connecticut with his family at his side. But he leaves behind a robust record of interviews with an array of famous and also infamous figures who made the news. Brian Moore has our story from Washington.
Mike Wallace was a TV giant who cut the rich and powerful down to size.
When we talk about dictatorship, I'm wagging my finger at the president of China.
As the iconic inquisitor for 60 Minutes on CBS, it was Wallace who grilled China's president after the Tiananmen Square massacre and Ayatollah Khomeini during the Iran hostage crisis.
I heard President Sadat say on American television that the imam is a disgrace to Islam, and he used the word a lunatic.
When Mike Wallace asked questions, the world waited for the answer.
Some of our great leaders would not have been perhaps great television personalities.
But Wallace was in a TV career that spanned 6 decades.
The Mike Wallace interview.
I'm ready anytime you want to repeat the stupid question.
He had a knack for making people squirm.
You like this, that 40 million people have to see me do this.
Not even friends were safe.
Now, you really didn't need that question.
But he did. Hard questions that occasionally crack the public facade of newsmakers.
That I am the man who made the peace.
Mike Wallace, a quintessential newsman who covered his century like few others, dead at 93. Mike Wallace reportedly wanted his epitaph to read, "He was tough, but fair." Brian Moore, NBC News, Washington.
Up next on Channel 3 News, authorities arrest 2 people in Tulsa, Oklahoma after an intense manhunt for a killer. And in our What Works series, we take a look at a food bank filling the needs for people living in a local Jewish community. Bruce.
Well, as the Easter weekend winds up, we head back to work and back to school on Monday. And as the kids head back, they're still going to need the jackets in the morning as temperatures will be cool. It'll be breezy with temperatures ranging from the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Your full 7-day forecast coming right up.
And now, Channel 3 News at 11 with Eric Mansfield.
Welcome back. Thanks for spending part of your Sunday evening with us. Well, 2 people have been arrested now in Oklahoma. They're accused in those early Friday morning shootings. Now, those shootings left 3 people dead, 2 more injured, and certainly a city in shock. That whole neighborhood on edge. Now, they were acting on an anonymous tip early this morning, and police made good on it. They arrested 19-year-old Jacob Carl England and 32-year-old Alvin Lee Watts. There they are. The 2 are expected to be charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, 2 additional counts of shooting with an intent to kill.
We were desperate for leads, and that's why we made some very, very pointed requests of our community to come forward, and they did.
Although the suspects are white and all the victims were black, police have not said whether they believe the crimes were racially motivated. And today, a group of college students and activists finished a 3-day, 40-mile walk, all for Trayvon Martin. They started in Daytona Beach Friday. They arrived at the Sanford Courthouse Sunday afternoon. On the way, they paused for a memorial service outside the gated community where the teen was killed by a neighborhood watch volunteer. Now, a grand jury is set to hear the case against that volunteer next week. Even if you're looking for it, you might just drive right past it. Tonight's What Works series takes us to a place tucked back behind a long driveway on South Euclid. Photojournalist Mike Green has the story of the Kosher Food Bank.
The Kosher Food Bank originated more than 30 years ago to provide food for newly arrived Jews from the Soviet Union.
My family came to the United States in 1953. We were refugees from the Holocaust. And my parents were very, very grateful for all the help that we had received from the Jewish community. And when the Russian Jewish immigration came in the 80s, they immediately set up a food bank for them, and they just set up all kinds of programs for them to help them acclimate to a different country, a different language, a different society.
This day, they're delivering food to a senior citizen building. But before the food can get here, much of it is picked up at the Cleveland Food Bank, who they partner with.
And it's a unique pantry that we have, but it fills a very important need.
We have a great relationship with the Cleveland Food Bank, and as we're the kosher agency, we always check to see what items are kosher. So right now they allow us to check all the products before we let them on to see if they have the right kosher symbol. This has got an OU over here, which OU is a very respectable kosher symbol. That means it's a reliable product, and we're definitely going to take it.
3 years ago, I took over. Couldn't do it myself either, so we brought a young man, Rabbi Yossi Friedman, to help me. It turns out that he's actually my grandson.
We're going to need... We'll need another 7 onions. Seven onions.
They provide kosher food to over 600 families in eastern suburbs of Cleveland, and 20% of their families are non-Jews.
When we provide food to the senior citizen buildings, we give everyone there, Jewish or non-Jewish, every single person in that building receives a package of food.
They rely on volunteers to help unload, pack, and distribute the food.
I just do this to help out the needy, and it's a good thing to do, volunteer for people.
Part of our Jewish tradition is always to help, and seeing that in this economy especially, we've gotten many more requests for food, and we're just very grateful that we're able to be the organization that's helping everyone out there.
In South Euclid, I'm Mike Green, Channel 3 News.
Mike, thank you very much. Now, the food pantry also relies on donations, as some kosher items just aren't available at the Cleveland Food Bank.
Now the forecast, and get it to go on Channel 3's interactive weather mobile app.
Chilly at times for an Easter Sunday, but hopefully some good spring days ahead.
You're one of those that gets spoiled like everybody else around here by that March weather. I mean, temperatures were above average today, the average for April here in northeastern Ohio for an Easter, but yeah, compared to the 80s and 70s we had last month, it does feel a bit cool. Let's look at the numbers. In the almanac for today, 60 the official high, 40 the official low at Hopkins Airport. As you can see, above average, which is 56 the average high, 38 the average low. Akron hit 60 degrees, Mansfield hit 61 degrees today, so we were all doing good, but as we said, spoiled by the nice weather we had last month. Sun will be up at 6:57 tomorrow morning, setting at 8:02 tomorrow evening. Right now at Hopkins Airport, it is partly cloudy. It is 51 degrees, a west-northwest wind at 13, but gusting to 20. The wind has been frisky today and will continue to do so for really the next couple of days at least. We see temperatures ranging from, well, we got 44 in Worcester, the cool spot, 51 in Dover, the mild spot, tied by downtown Cleveland's Burke Lakefront Airport. Akron-Canton Regional Airport is at 47. Clouds moved out finally this afternoon. We saw some sunshine. Now the next batch is moving in. Of this moisture, not a lot is hitting the ground. Some showers up around Lansing and Kalamazoo, Michigan, but other than that, it's just moisture aloft, but it'll increase our cloud cover. And then we have a system that'll be pushing our way later tomorrow, and gradually our atmosphere will get moistened up. And this low pressure system you see up here is not going to go anywhere. It's going to sit and spin, and what that's going to do is usher in some colder air and some more moisture really for the first half of next week. For tonight, we'll see clouds, maybe a sprinkle overnight, but by tomorrow morning should be pretty quiet for the commute and heading out to school. Not bad. Then as we get into the afternoon, we start to see a few scattered showers around, and the operative word here is scattered, and that's what we'll entertain right on into tomorrow evening. So for tonight, increasing cloud cover with that batch coming in from the west. It'll be breezy for sure. Might see a sprinkle, but not a big deal. The overnight low 39 degrees. Then tomorrow, Some morning sunshine, but then clouds gradually increasing in the afternoon, then scattered showers. The high, a seasonable 57 degrees. And as we look ahead to tomorrow evening, we might see a little rain-snow mix developing as we get into early Tuesday morning and into Wednesday overnight hours. Once again, a little rain-snow mix, a possibility. But that low is going to sit and spin over the next few days and rotate some colder air and some moisture around. And it's really not going to be until the latter part of the week we start to get some dry weather. So as you look at your 7-day forecast, sponsored by Shell, 57 tomorrow, but a chilly, occasionally wet 44 on Tuesday. Same story on Wednesday. What we'll have will be overnight rain and snow mix, and then during the day, plain old rain showers. Then finally, Thursday, we get drier and sunnier. Friday, sunny and 58. Warming up for next weekend, but some moisture will come our way, so scattered showers and storms typical of springtime next weekend with readings in the 60s.
I think a lot of people would put their shovels away and all of that.
Oh, we're not going to have nothing to shovel. I mean, it'll be a little mixture of rain and snow, but the ground's pretty warm, of course, so a lot of that is going to go bye-bye as soon as it hits.
You're right, we get spoiled.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Bruce, thanks. Hey, coming up, the Cavs ride the hand of an unlikely hero, but would it be enough to cut down the Nets? A thrilling finish in overtime. Oh, yeah, we're going on. Dave has the highlights next.
And now, the Mentor and Helene Kia Sports Report.
Hi, everyone. A great Easter Sunday at Augusta for the final round of the Masters. Let's go. Phil Mickelson, let's start with him. Loved by many, picked by many to win. Par 3 fourth, in trouble, goes righty to get out of the woods. Triple bogey, second this weekend. He finished 8 under, 2 shots back. One of the greatest shots in Masters history. Louis Oosthuizen, par 5, second hole, 253 yards. It drops and it rolls about 90 feet into the cup for a double eagle albatross, they call it. Fourth in Masters history. It jumped him to the lead, 7 under to 10 under. We go to a playoff. Louis and Bubba Watson tied at 10 under. On 10, second playoff hole. Watson in trouble. He pulls off an incredible shot deep in the trees, puts it 10 feet from the hole. He would tap in for the victory, par, winning his first major.
I mean, this is what everybody strives to do. No matter how much you want to live your life in other ways, this is an honor, a special privilege to put the green jacket on.
Here's how it looks. Watson at the top, Tiger Woods plus 515 back. Here's STO's Jimmy Hanlon to break it down. Turns out the winner's shot outshines the albatross.
I thought it was going to be a double eagle. I mean, there's only been 4 in the history of the Masters. You think, wow, this guy, makes double eagle, has been clutch all day with the putter. How can he lose? And then Bubba Watson, as unorthodox as his golf swing is. I mean, it was just, if I try to teach that to somebody, Dave, I don't even know where to start. But he pulls shots off like that. He can curve the golf ball. He curved it out of the woods, knocks it up there and makes par and wins.
Speaking of lefties, Phil Mickelson, he was in it. What happened?
Yeah, you know what? Phil was the heavy favorite today. He just didn't have that magic with the putter. Had a horrible break on the 4th hole of par 3, hit it into the stands, and just got a terrible break, kicks into the woods, has to try to hit it right-handed, makes 6, and just it was an uphill battle from there.
What's better for golf? All those guys playing, having a chance to win at the end, or Tiger Woods on the final day, maybe in a blowout?
Well, if you're talking about ratings, it's usually Tiger, but that was about as exciting a golf as you're going to see. And Bubba is up there. I'll tell you, people love Bubba Watson. He's exciting, he's emotional, and, if he can keep the ball rolling, he can be one of those guys that can easily take the place of Tiger if he doesn't get it back.
All right, Jimmy, thanks for that. The Cavs in New Jersey tonight going OT with the Nets. Byron Scott, he used to coach these Nets. Antoine Jameson with a big night. He's going to hit the 3. He had a game-high 34 points. Cavs down 3, 6 seconds to go. Lester Hudson, that guy we know by Hudson, with the 3 to tie it. He does it with .3 ticks left. He had 6 threes on the night. He had 26 points, but wow. Gerald Green in overtime, too tough. He had 32. Nets win 122-117. Cavs 18 and 36 back at home against the Bobcats on Tuesday. After 2 losses to open the season, the Indians get their first win today. Manny Acta and the rest of us had to sweat it out against the Blue Jays. But thanks to Carlos Santana coming up big on his 26th birthday, no doubt about it. In the second, he leaves Progressive Field, his first homer of the season, 1-zip Tribe. Later in the inning, Jack Hanahan, he singles the center. Casey Kochman scores after his first hit. with the Tribe 2-0 Indians. Game tied at 2 in the 5th. Not anymore. Santana does it again. This time a 2-run shot to make it 4-2. To the 9th, 4-3, 2 outs, bases loaded. Jose Bautista, he pops up. Chris Perez gets it done. He gets the save. Indians win 4-3, avoiding the sweep.
You guys should tell him it's his birthday every day. Yeah, that was huge. You know, a couple of guys got some knocks today. You know, Kosman got on the board. Hopefully we can take some of that momentum against Chicago tomorrow.
And it is the Indians and White Sox tomorrow. They start a 3-game series. Josh Tomlin on the hill. Al with Indians on deck on STO at 6:30. 18 days from the NFL draft, Tom Heckert has to hit, especially with the early picks. A record high 13 draft picks overall, so Pat Shurmur will get some help. And unlike last season with the lockout, he'll have more time.
The amount of time that we have now as opposed to last year, and you know, if you look at our season as a whole, you know, losing, you know, 6 games by less than a touchdown or less, I mean, it could have went either way, you know. So just having this all season and a full, complete all season, I think that, you know, definitely you'll see a difference in our play this year.
Arena football tonight, Orlando Predators against the Gladiators. John Dutton threw for 6 touchdowns, 4 to Dominic Goodman. Gladiators 3-1 now. They win 41-24. And finally, coming up next, Indians tonight, our debut 2012. Rick Manning on the show, Jim Donovan with the preview package, and Sheldon Oker in studio. Great show, all Tribe. Don't miss it.
Can't wait to see it. See you in a bit.
All right.
Dave, thank you very much. And coming up next, the story of how a woman is reunited with her stolen dog. This will make you go, aww.